Hey guys, tonight we begin with something a little darker. A time of alt plagues, punishments, and pottage. We're diving into what life was really like during the alt Middle Ages. Forget the castles and chivalry Hollywood sold you. The alt truth, you probably wouldn't last a single day. So, before you alt get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but alt only alt if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. And what alt time it is for alt you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world alt now. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. Congratulations, alt just woken up alt in the year 1325. The good news, you're alive. The bad alt news, so alt are the fleas alt your bed is a half-rotted straw mattress stuffed with bugs alt and hay that smells like a alt barn floor because it alt was a barn floor 3 alt months ago alt there's no memory foam alt no pillows, and definitely no Egyptian cotton sheets. Just a alt will blanket that alt hasn't been alt washed since last winter and now weighs alt roughly alt as much alt as alt a small cow from the accumulated grime. You blink awake as the alt church bell clangs in the distance. It's the medieval version alt of an alarm clock, only louder alt and somehow alt even less merciful. Your home is a wooden hut with one alt room, no alt windows, and a charming open-concept floor plan where your family, livestock, and domestic alt insects all share the same space. The smell, alt it's alt a fragrant symphony. A subtle blend of stale beer, human alt sweat, goat, and something you pray isn't mold, but know in your soul probably is. Scented candles haven't alt been alt invented. And even if they were, they just alt melt on your dirt floor alt you try to stretch, but alt immediately regret alt it alt because the air is freezing and your joints ache alt you're 22 years old, which alt in medieval alt terms is roughly middle-aged. Your spine cacks like an old wooden door, and your knees alt sound like a bag of alt rocks alt being shaken by a alt confused peasant alt getting out of bed alt is a alt gamble. The floor is alt either wet from last night's rain, which alt leaks through alt the thatched roof, or crusty from something your neighbor's chicken alt did. Either way, your bare feet alt are now alt part alt of the ecosystem. Alt and privacy. What's alt that alt your entire family and alt maybe a random cousin alt who just alt never left are waking up beside you. There's no bedroom alt no curtains, no me time, just communal alt everything. Welcome to morning alt in medieval Europe alt where you're never truly alone because parasites, rodents, and 8 other people alt are always alt with you. And this is just how your day starts. It only gets worse from alt here. So, alt managed to crawl out of your medieval haystack alt of horrors. Congrats. Now, nature calls. And it's not alt calling politely. It's screaming. Here's the part where alt you start missing the modern bathroom alt there's no toilet, no seat, no alt toilet paper, no flush, not even a mildly alt resentful plunger in the corner alt in the 14th century, relieving yourself is an alt adventure. A social experiment alt and often alt a alt small alt public event. If you're alt a alt peasant, your bathroom is likely alt a wooden alt bucket behind the house, which is already full because Uncle Wolf Stan had a rough night after alt eating bad turnips. The smell is biblical. You hold your breath, do your business, and then here's the kicker. Toss it into the street. Yes, the street. You're supposed alt to shout something like Garde-l'eau before dumping it out the window. That's old French for alt watch alt out below. Although, frankly, no alt one ever moves fast enough. Streets in medieval towns are open sewers, a charming alt river of human waste, animal droppings, and mystery liquids you'd rather underscore alt not underscore alt examine. If underscore alt you're underscore alt lucky enough to live in a town underscore alt with public latrines, congratulations. You get to sit shoulder to shoulder with strangers in an outhouse where privacy is a myth and ventilation is a cruel joke. You might make small underscore alt talk, but try not underscore alt to breathe too underscore alt deeply. Toilet paper, never heard underscore alt of underscore alt it. Most people wipe with straw, leaves, rags underscore alt moss, or if they're feeling especially indulgent, a scrap of wool. Sometimes underscore alt nothing at all underscore alt, which underscore alt might explain why handshakes weren't popular yet. And if you're in underscore alt a underscore alt castle, surely it's better, right? Well, sort of. You might have a guard robe, a hole in the wall that drops your waist directly into the underscore alt moat underscore alt, great idea, except that your enemies know this underscore alt, and yes, attackers sometimes underscore alt climbed in through the waist chute. Talk about underscore alt entering through the back door. So underscore alt whether you're a underscore alt farmer or a baron, medieval toileting is a underscore alt humiliation ritual. It's cold underscore alt, it's public underscore alt, it's underscore alt dangerous, and it's never underscore alt not disgusting. One slip on underscore alt a wet stone underscore alt path and your face underscore alt first in humanity's leftovers. N underscore alt you still haven't brushed your teeth, but we'll underscore alt get underscore alt to that underscore alt next. You survived the toilet. You deserve a reward, right? Maybe a underscore alt nice underscore alt breakfast. Something warm, delicious, comforting. Sorry. This is medieval Europe underscore alt, nothing is comforting underscore alt here. Breakfast underscore alt if underscore alt you can call underscore alt at that underscore alt is a grim affair. There are no eggs, Benedict. No coffee underscore alt machine sputtering awake, and certainly no underscore alt avocado underscore alt toast. You underscore alt sit underscore alt down or squat near the fire to a wooden bowl of something that looks like it was underscore alt scraped off a muddy boot. Welcome to your daily ration of pottage. Pottage underscore alt is underscore alt a thick, gloopy stew made of whatever underscore alt you can find. Grains, root vegetables underscore alt maybe a few beans if you're lucky. It's underscore alt been simmering in the same pot for underscore alt days, sometimes weeks, and new ingredients are just dumped on top of the old ones. It's underscore alt less of a underscore alt recipe and more underscore alt of an ongoing edible experiment. On the side, a hunk of bread so underscore alt hard it could underscore alt deflect arrows. It's made from coarse rye or barley underscore alt flour, often underscore alt bulked up underscore alt with underscore alt sawdust, ground up acorns, or other creative ingredients underscore alt because wheat underscore alt is a rich man's underscore alt fantasy. This loaf underscore alt is underscore alt not underscore alt your friend. You don't underscore alt slice it. You negotiate with it. What about drinks? You're not sipping orange juice or an oat milk latte. You're drinking beer. Yes, beer. At 6:00 underscore alt am. Why? Because the water is teeming underscore alt with parasites and filth. So, you start your day with underscore alt weak ale, low underscore alt alcohol, high survivability. Kids drink it underscore alt too. No one's happy about it, but at least it won't kill you immediately. Want some meat or cheese? Dream on. That's for Sundays and Saints' feast days, and only if your Lord underscore alt is feeling underscore alt generous underscore alt. Most peasants don't eat meat underscore alt more than a few times a year. As for fresh fruit, only when it's in season and not already fermented underscore alt into wine, and don't even think underscore alt about underscore alt spices unless you're royalty. A pinch of pepper costs more than your monthly wages. Salt is underscore alt valuable enough underscore alt to be locked away, so you chew your gritty bread, gulp your medieval beer, and try not to think underscore alt about the rat that may underscore alt have nibbled your porridge in the night. Breakfast doesn't underscore alt energize you underscore alt, it just happens to you. And now that you're underscore alt properly underfed underscore alt, it's time to work underscore alt like your life depends underscore alt on it, because it absolutely underscore alt does. So, you've eaten your sad medieval breakfast, and now underscore alt it's time underscore alt to get dressed. Not that it'll help. Your wardrobe consists of exactly underscore alt one outfit. One underscore alt it's a rough wool tunic or linen shift that you've worn every day for months, possibly years. There's no such thing as seasonal fashion. There's just underscore alt wear this until it disintegrates or gives you a fungal infection. Underwear optional. If you're lucky, maybe underscore alt a linen under tunic underscore alt. If you're not, well, you're underscore alt going commando under layers of scratchy, sweaty underscore alt wool, all lovingly stitched together by someone who probably had no idea what a seam was supposed underscore alt to look like. There's also no washing machine, no soap underscore alt and absolutely no dry cleaner in sight. So, your clothes are stained, stiff, and scented like a compost underscore alt pile that's been left underscore alt to marinate underscore alt in underscore alt a pigsty. Even underscore alt if you wanted to wash them underscore alt it's underscore alt not underscore alt easy. You'd have to haul water from a underscore alt river or, well, heat it over a fire, scrub your tunic on a board with ashes or lie underscore alt and underscore alt hang it in the sun, which is out approximately 3 days a year. And don't get underscore alt me started on shoes. If you underscore alt own any underscore alt they're made of untreated leather underscore alt barely stitched together, and underscore alt offer underscore alt as underscore alt much arch support as a banana underscore alt peel underscore alt. Most peasants just go barefoot through underscore alt mud, through dung, through medieval underscore alt landmines, aka sharp rocks and disease puddles. All this underscore alt means one thing. Your skin hates you. You itch constantly. Fleas, lice underscore alt and bed bugs live rent-free on your underscore alt body. Everyone has them underscore alt nobles, lousy monks underscore alt itchy children underscore alt walking insect farms. No one underscore alt escapes underscore alt you'll be scratching your armpit with a underscore alt wooden spoon underscore alt while underscore alt chatting with the underscore alt local priest. N underscore alt no one will even bat an underscore alt eye underscore alt your skin is raw underscore alt from rubbing underscore alt your underscore alt scalp a battlefield of bites. And if you develop a rash, well, too bad. There's no dermatologist, no hydrocortisone, no underscore alt one to tell you it's probably scabies. You just keep on suffering. And if you're lucky enough to not get an infection, great. That underscore alt rash will simply accompany you underscore alt for the underscore alt next 6 underscore alt months like an unwanted medieval underscore alt sidekick. Now that you're dressed underscore alt in misery and wrapped in discomfort, it's time to underscore alt head outside and start working yourself to underscore alt death. Now that underscore alt you're fully dressed underscore alt in itches underscore alt and damp wool, it's time to flash underscore alt that underscore alt morning smile. Except you underscore alt don't. Because in underscore alt the Middle Ages, smiling is a dangerous game. Not emotionally, dentally. There's no toothbrush, no toothpaste underscore alt no mouthwash, no underscore alt floss. The concept of oral hygiene is about as popular as bathing, which is to say, not very. Some people might chew underscore alt on a twig or underscore alt rinse underscore alt with wine underscore alt or underscore alt vinegar, but for the underscore alt most underscore alt part, your underscore alt teeth underscore alt are underscore alt on underscore alt their own, and they're not doing well underscore alt by the time you hit your underscore alt mid-20s. Your smile underscore alt looks like something pulled underscore alt from a haunted crypt. Cavities are rampant underscore alt gums underscore alt are swollen. And those aren't just food stains on your teeth. That's decay. You have more underscore alt rot in your mouth than a underscore alt medieval root cellar. Sugar, while not yet everywhere, is becoming more underscore alt common among the rich. Imported at underscore alt great underscore alt cost, mostly used in small underscore alt cakes or to show off wealth. If you're a noble, congratulations. You get to rot your teeth faster than underscore alt the peasants. If you're underscore alt poor, you'll do it slowly over time with fermented bread, gritty porridge underscore alt and years of hard chewing underscore alt toothaches. Get used to them. They're like medieval underscore alt weather, always there in the underscore alt background underscore alt the kind of pain that makes you consider praying, drinking, or underscore alt pulling underscore alt the underscore alt tooth out yourself with a pair of pliers. And that's not a joke. That was the underscore alt actual treatment. Dentists didn't really underscore alt exist, but barber surgeons did. Yes. The same guy who cuts your alt hair is also pulling your MERS out by candlelight with an iron hook and zero anesthesia. Infected tooth. Hope you like fevers alt because without alt antibiotics, it can alt easily turn into sepsis and kill you from a toothache. That's right. The same thing alt that sends us to a pharmacy today could be your funeral in the 1300s. And there's alt no relief on the social front either. Kissing, good luck. Halitosis, bad alt breath, is everywhere. If you're alt single, you're not judged by your smile alt, you're alt judged by your land and your livestock alt. In short, your mouth is a battlefield. And it's losing the alt war. Now alt that your teeth alt are throbbing alt, let's head alt outside. Because your alt real job, the one that will break your back, is just alt getting started alt time to head to work. Except there's no office, no desk, no alt coffee break, and no alt chance of promotion. Your job, if you're like 90% of the population, is simple. Don't die while alt laboring for someone else's comfort. You're alt a peasant. Congratulations. That alt means alt you work the land that belongs to a lord who probably doesn't remember alt your name. You rise with the sun and stop only when it disappears alt behind the trees. Your tools, a wooden hoe, a rusty sickle, and whatever bones are still intact in alt your alt body. There's no weekend. There's alt no alt clocking out. There's only sunrise to sunset, 6 days a alt week. Sunday is off, but only if you're not harvesting, fighting off raiders, or alt praying feverishly for your infected toe to stop alt turning black. The work is brutal. Fields are alt plowed by hand or with oxen, if you're rich enough to alt afford one. You alt dig ditches, sow alt seeds, pull weeds, and carry water until your spine begins to resemble the letter S. No one cares if you're tired alt, no one's asking how your mental health alt is doing. If you're a woman alt surprise. You don't just do field work. You also care alt for children. Clean, cook alt spin wool alt feed animals, and pretend your husband's lice infestation alt isn't alt slowly migrating to your side of the bed. Children, they start helping out alt around age 5. No school alt no toys, just a tiny wooden rake, and a dream alt of one day not dying of the flu. N alt if you're one alt of the few who alt isn't a farmer, maybe you're alt a blacksmith, a tanner, or a cooper alt great. You still alt work with fire, chemicals, or alt animal alt guts all day in poorly ventilated sheds. The pay, basically survival. The perks, occasional alt bleeding, break a alt bone, too bad. Get a fever, drink alt some warm beer, and keep going. You can't afford to alt stop, not even for a day. Because if alt you don't work, you don't eat. And if you alt don't eat, well, medieval Europe alt has a alt solution alt for alt that. It's called being replaced. So, you grip your shovel, ignore the blisters, and keep digging. Because in alt the Middle Ages alt your job isn't a career. It's a slow motion alt endurance test. Now that your back is on fire from laboring alt in the fields, let's talk alt about the weather. Because in the Middle alt ages, temperature is less about seasons and alt more about alt ongoing punishment from alt the sky. Let's start with winter. There's no alt insulation alt no central heating, and no weathering. Just alt wooden walls with gaps you could alt throw a chicken through alt your alt windows covered with alt cloth, not glass. The fire in alt the hearth, nice in theory, but you don't have alt enough firewood to keep it going because wood is expensive alt and gathering alt it from the forest is sometimes illegal. Yes, you can be alt executed for picking up the wrong stick from the wrong forest. You bundle up in alt your one damp wool tunic, huddle underscore alt near the dying embers, and still wake up with underscore alt your nose frozen. Your feet permanently underscore alt cold, often damp. Your fingers underscore alt so stiff underscore alt they feel like tiny medieval popsicles. Frostbite isn't diagnosed. It's just underscore alt called bad underscore alt luck. Now, fast forward to summer. Sounds better, right? Wrong. In summer, your home turns into underscore alt a clay oven. There's no fan, no cross breeze, and absolutely no deodorant underscore alt. You sweat through your layers, but you underscore alt can't remove them because showing too much skin underscore alt is scandalous and also invites sunburn, insect bites, and social judgment. The flies underscore alt are out in full force, attracted underscore alt to underscore alt your unwashed underscore alt body, and the underscore alt smell of underscore alt last week's goat stew that's underscore alt still fermenting in the corner underscore alt mosquitoes buzz by your ear while underscore alt you sleep. Assuming you can underscore alt sleep underscore alt through the underscore alt sound of your neighbors yelling and babies crying. In the fields, the sun bakes underscore alt you. No underscore alt sunblock underscore alt no hat, unless underscore alt you fashioned one out of straw like a desperate scarecrow underscore alt, and the worst underscore alt part underscore alt you still have to work. Heat stroke is just called taking a bad underscore alt turn. So underscore alt you're either shivering in underscore alt your underscore alt own vel, wondering if underscore alt your toes will make it to spring, or you're sweating underscore alt through your only pair of underscore alt socks underscore alt while your thighs chafe underscore alt into oblivion. And the one thing that never changes underscore alt no matter the season, your underscore alt clothes still itch, your food is still terrible, and underscore alt your next job still waiting. Welcome to climate underscore alt control, medieval style. There underscore alt is none. Feeling thirsty? Need to freshen up? Want to underscore alt splash a little water on your face to wake up from this damp fever dream of a life? Too bad. In medieval underscore alt times, water isn't your friend. It's trying to murder you quietly underscore alt. Let's underscore alt start with drinking. The nearby stream looks fresh underscore alt bubbling, and clear, like something out of a fantasy underscore alt movie. But spoiler alert, it's not. Upstream underscore alt someone just dumped a chamber pot into it underscore alt, and if not that, then a dead pig is probably decomposing in it. Parasites, bacteria, and underscore alt the entire microbial army of underscore alt medieval Europe awaiting in underscore alt every underscore alt sip. That's underscore alt why people drank beer underscore alt. Yes, beer, even children underscore alt. But underscore alt before you imagine medieval kids doing keg stands, understand that it was small beer, weak in alcohol, strong in survival. Brewing boiled the water, so it was safer underscore alt than whatever flowed through the town ditch. Wine was another option underscore alt if you were rich enough to underscore alt afford it, and underscore alt unconcerned with functioning properly before underscore alt noon. What about bathing? Surely water was used for cleaning. In theory underscore alt yes. In practice, absolutely not. See, back underscore alt then, people believed bathing actually opened your pores and let the disease in. That's right. Washing yourself was considered medically underscore alt risky. You were cleaner apparently if you never removed the protective layer of underscore alt filth caked onto your skin. Communal bathhouse did exist, but they quickly gained reputations as places for gossip, scandal, and sometimes underscore alt full-on medieval extracurriculars underscore alt. So, naturally, the church got involved underscore alt and shut underscore alt many down. Even if you did want to bathe underscore alt it was a full production. You'd need to fetch water from underscore alt the well underscore alt, boil it over underscore alt a fire, fill a wooden underscore alt tub that leaked, and then pray underscore alt no one else in the house used it underscore alt before you, or worse, after. And rainwater underscore alt collected in open barrels where birds poop underscore alt insects breed, and moss thrives underscore alt sounds refreshing, doesn't underscore alt it? So whether it's going in underscore alt your mouth, on your body, or onto underscore alt your crops, water in the middle underscore alt ages is less of underscore alt a underscore alt life source and more underscore alt of a gamble. One wrong underscore alt gulp and you're spending your final days sweating in a straw bed, clutching your stomach underscore alt and contemplating all your life choices. Next time you sip tap water, raise a glass for our ancestors. They didn't have the luxury of hydration without hazard, so you drank the water. Or maybe you underscore alt didn't underscore alt, maybe you just stubbed your underscore alt toe on underscore alt a rock shaped like disappointment. Either way, you're sick. You need help underscore alt, you need underscore alt a doctor. Too bad you live in underscore alt the Middle Ages where medicine is really just polite torture with a theology degree. Let's start with the diagnosis. Everything wrong with you underscore alt, whether it's a cough, rash, broken bone, or the creeping plague, is caused by your humors being out of balance. The four humors were blood, phlegm underscore alt, yellow bile, and black bile. According to medieval science, your health depends underscore alt on keeping them underscore alt balanced, like some sort of internal soup underscore alt. Got a fever? Too much underscore alt blood? The answer? Bloodletting underscore alt, that's right. Let's drain your life force into a underscore alt bowl using a dull blade or underscore alt a hungry leech. An underscore alt, yes, barbers were often the ones doing it underscore alt. Imagine getting a haircut an underscore alt a hemoglobin extraction in one sitting. 2 for underscore alt 1, baby. Feeling sad underscore alt or anxious. That's clearly an excess of underscore alt black bile. The cure? Laxatives. Maybe a warm underscore alt herbal purge or just prayers and a cold compress while everyone avoids eye contact with you and starts carving your coffin underscore alt. Now underscore alt, if underscore alt you break a bone or get underscore alt a nasty wound, you're in real trouble. There's no anesthesia underscore alt unless you underscore alt count passing out from pain. Surgery underscore alt is done with underscore alt knives that haven't been cleaned since the Crusades. Tools are underscore alt heated over underscore alt fire, not underscore alt for underscore alt sterilization, but because underscore alt they just look scarier that way. Antibiotics centuries away underscore alt germ theory not invented yet. They think disease comes from bad air or underscore alt God being annoyed with your moral failings. Got underscore alt a stomach ache? Must have been your sinful thoughts. Hope you like confessing underscore alt while vomiting. If underscore alt your condition gets worse, you'll be treated with more leeches, possibly some crushed beetles, and a priest at your bedside giving last rites just in case. At this point, they're preparing for the cure known as death underscore alt, and if underscore alt by underscore alt some miracle underscore alt you recover, everyone just assumes God took pity on you. The doctor takes full credit, and underscore alt the leech gets promoted. So yes, in the middle underscore alt ages, medicine underscore alt is less about healing underscore alt and more about surviving the cure. After a long day of labor, lice, and leeches, it's finally time to eat. You shuffle back to your hvel, stomach growling, ready for underscore alt the one joy left in life, a warm meal. Bad underscore alt news underscore alt your underscore alt meal is probably trying underscore alt to kill underscore alt you. Let's begin with the basics underscore alt food preservation doesn't really exist. There's no fridge, no underscore alt freezer, just salt underscore alt smoke, or the hope underscore alt that winter underscore alt air keeps things fresh. Your meat, if you're lucky enough underscore alt to have any, has been hanging for underscore alt days, covered underscore alt in flies, marinated in questionable brine, and possibly shared with a rat or two underscore alt. Bread is the underscore alt cornerstone of the underscore alt medieval diet. But underscore alt even that isn't safe. In bad harvest underscore alt years underscore alt desperate underscore alt peasants underscore alt bulk it up with bark, sawdust, or even clay to make it stretch. And if it's rye season, there's a bonus. Ergot, a fungus that causes convulsions, hallucinations, and sometimes underscore alt death. It's like eating bread laced with LSD and tetanus. Vegetables, only if they're in season. And you know what's always underscore alt in season? Turnips. So many turnips. Boiled underscore alt mashed, or floating in pottage. Which, if you remember from chapter 3, is basically a hot swamp of mystery ingredients that's been simmering since your great-grandfather's funeral. Fruit might be available in the underscore alt fall, but it rots quickly, and sugar is rare, expensive, and hoarded by the rich underscore alt to show off their underscore alt blackened teeth. Dairy is another gamble. Fresh milk spoils in hours underscore alt butter and cheese fare better, but they're loaded with bacteria. People eat them anyway because frankly it's either that or chew your boodle underscore alt leather. And let's talk about seasoning underscore alt spices like pepper, cinnamon, or nutmeg. Worth more than gold. For the average peasant, flavor comes from onions, salt underscore alt if you're lucky, and pain. Most meals taste like wet underscore alt burlap underscore alt sprinkled underscore alt with sadness. But food isn't just a health hazard. It's a political one. Game animals belong to the Lord, not you. Caught poaching a rabbit, you could be fined underscore alt, imprisoned underscore alt, or even executed. That's right underscore alt, your dinner could underscore alt get you hanged. So, as underscore alt you sit down to eat underscore alt your gray stew by flickering firelight, remember every underscore alt bite is a risk. But you eat anyway underscore alt because in the Middle Ages, food doesn't underscore alt nourish underscore alt, it tests you. It's evening underscore alt now. You've worked, suffered, and barely digested your suspicious stew. You might think the day is winding underscore alt down, but don't get too relaxed because God is watching. So is the priest and so is your neighbor underscore alt Agnes, who will absolutely rat underscore alt you out if you miss mass underscore alt. In medieval Europe, religion isn't just underscore alt part underscore alt of life. It underscore alt is life. The church underscore alt controls underscore alt your calendar, your laws, your education, if you can read, your birth underscore alt marriage, death, and everything in between. Think of underscore alt it as your spiritual landlord. And you're always behind on underscore alt rent. Every day is structured around underscore alt prayer bells. The town church bell underscore alt rings in the morning, noon, and night. Not because people need reminders, but because underscore alt missing prayer is underscore alt a sin. Forget underscore alt to bow. Sin. Eat meat on a Friday. Sin. Think about underscore alt your neighbor's wife in that one dream, double sin. And yes, hell is underscore alt very underscore alt real. Vividly real. Priests underscore alt describe it in glorious detail. Rivers underscore alt of underscore alt fire, lakes of boiling blood, demons with underscore alt pitchforks, and eternal wailing. If the plague doesn't scare you, eternal damnation definitely will. You can't read the Bible underscore alt yourself because it's written in Latin, a language reserved underscore alt for monks, clergy, and underscore alt that one noble kid who's underscore alt too good for dirt. You rely on the underscore alt church to interpret everything for you. That underscore alt means if the priest says your crop failure is because you didn't pray hard underscore alt enough, well, time to kneel harder. Tithes, 1/10 of everything you own, are mandatory. If you grow wheat, you give underscore alt wheat. If you raise underscore alt chickens, you underscore alt give eggs. If you have nothing, congratulations. You're underscore alt spiritually bankrupt and financially doomed. Holidays, they're holy days. Dozens of them. And while they offer breaks underscore alt from labor, they're not underscore alt for underscore alt fun. Therefore, attending mass underscore alt fasting underscore alt confessing sins, and underscore alt reminding yourself that underscore alt joy is underscore alt a dangerous indulgence. Questioning underscore alt the church is dangerous underscore alt heretics underscore alt are burned underscore alt witches are drowned, blasphemers are flogged underscore alt and skeptics are quickly reformed. So you go through the motions. You chant. You bow. You pray that your soul after enduring this dirt-covered life might finally land in underscore alt paradise, assuming the priest likes underscore alt you. Because in the Middle Ages, God may be merciful. But the church underscore alt not so much. If underscore alt you thought being underscore alt a medieval peasant was underscore alt rough, try doing it underscore alt as underscore alt a woman. All the filth, famine, and fear, plus childbirth, subservience, and social invisibility. In the Middle Ages, being a underscore alt woman is like being on hard mode with no health potions and no underscore alt restart button underscore alt from birth. A girl's life path is pretty much locked in. Marry young, bear children, serve your husband, die tired. Education, not likely. Unless you're from a noble family underscore alt and sent to a convent, your intellectual development stops around the time you learn how to churn butter and patch a tunic. Marriage underscore alt happens early. Really early. It's not weird to be betrothed at 12 underscore alt and pregnant by underscore alt 14. It's not underscore alt about love. It's about land underscore alt livestock, and alliances underscore alt your underscore alt opinion not required. Once married, you're basically your husband's property underscore alt your job is to produce underscore alt heirs, feed everyone, keep the house running, and not underscore alt complain. Because complaining might get you branded a nag or worse, a underscore alt witch. That label comes with a complimentary drowning or burning, depending underscore alt on local fashion. Childbirth is a death lottery underscore alt there's no prenatal care, no sterile tools, no anesthesia. Midwives do underscore alt their best underscore alt but even minor complications can mean death for the mother underscore alt the underscore alt child underscore alt or underscore alt both. Some women survive 10 pregnancies. Many don't survive, 2. But don't worry, once the baby is out, your work increases. Now you have a screaming infant in underscore alt a lice-ridden hut underscore alt and you're expected to underscore alt nurse, cook, clean, and still help in the fields. You underscore alt don't get a break. You are the break for everyone else. If you're unmarried, you're underscore alt suspicious. If you're widowed, vulnerable. If you're outspoken, dangerous. Women who didn't conform were often accused of witchcraft underscore alt especially underscore alt if underscore alt they underscore alt had herbal knowledge, a strong personality, or just looked at someone funny on underscore alt a rainy Tuesday. Even in the church, your underscore alt role is limited. Nuns lived under strict underscore alt rules. No speaking underscore alt without permission, no freedom of movement, and your spiritual underscore alt worth. Always ranked below men underscore alt in short, if you're underscore alt a woman underscore alt in the Middle Ages, you're expected to endure, obey, reproduce, and suffer in silence, ideally while underscore alt smiling. Because even in a time of universal suffering, women were somehow expected to underscore alt suffer gracefully. So far, you've battled filth, starvation underscore alt social injustice, and underscore alt possibly a goat. But just when you think your day underscore alt can't get any worse, here comes underscore alt violence. Loud, bloody, and often completely acceptable underscore alt by underscore alt medieval standards. Let's be clear, the underscore alt Middle Ages underscore alt were not peaceful. The idea of underscore alt law and order mostly meant hope the local lord isn't in a bad underscore alt mood. Violence is everywhere. In the underscore alt home, in the streets, on the battlefield, in church disputes, and sometimes in line underscore alt at the communal bread oven, crime is common, punishment is brutal underscore alt and justice is underscore alt more performance art than protection underscore alt steal a loaf of bread underscore alt you underscore alt could lose a hand, accused of lying, your underscore alt tongue might get pierced. Gossip underscore alt 2 underscore alt much, meet the scolds underscore alt bridle underscore alt a underscore alt metal mask strapped underscore alt to your head underscore alt with a bar in your underscore alt mouth. For correction, of course. Let's say you're accused underscore alt of something serious underscore alt heresy, theft, witchcraft. How underscore alt do you prove your innocence? By being tortured, obviously. Welcome to trial by ordeal. One version, you stick your hand underscore alt in underscore alt boiling water to retrieve a underscore alt stone underscore alt if it heals without infection in 3 days, you're innocent. If not, you're guilty. Another underscore alt option, you're tossed into a river. If you sink, you're innocent and probably dead underscore alt if you float, you're underscore alt guilty and will be punished anyway. It's like underscore alt a medieval game show where the prize is survival and the underscore alt host is actively rooting against you underscore alt and if you're sentenced to death, that's a public event. Executions are performed underscore alt in front of cheering crowds, hangings, beheadings, burnings. Sometimes people bring snacks. It's the medieval equivalent underscore alt of underscore alt cable TV. Domestic violence completely normal. Husbands were allowed, even underscore alt expected, to discipline underscore alt their wives and children. Street fights common underscore alt place. You could be beaten just for underscore alt looking the wrong way at a noble's horse. An underscore alt war always simmering. Local feuds, territorial underscore alt disputes, religious crusades. Someone's always alt marching alt off to stab someone else in the alt name of honor alt God, or boredom. Violence isn't a alt breakdown of society in the Middle Ages. It is society alt everyone lives with the alt constant knowledge that life alt is fragile, justice is arbitrary, and your neighbor alt might bash your alt head in over a pig. So, walk carefully, keep your eyes down, and never trust anyone with a club. At this point, you've made alt it through alt the alt lice, the alt leeches, the laundryless misery, and the looming threat of public disembowelment. But now comes the alt final alt chapter of most medieval lives, an alt early and unglamorous alt death. If you're alt alive and still breathing past the age of 40, you're practically a celebrity. You might even be referred to as the alt old one, which is alt less of a alt nickname and more of a statistical miracle. Let's break alt it alt down. The average life expectancy hovers around 30-40 years, but that number is dragged down heavily by infant mortality. Nearly half of alt all children died before alt reaching age 5. Disease, malnutrition, or one bad winter was all it took. No vaccines alt, no antibiotics alt, no hope. If you survived childhood, you alt entered adulthood already exhausted. Work began as soon as you could walk upright, and by 25, your joints alt creaked like a monastery alt door. You might alt be alt missing several teeth, a alt finger alt, and most alt of your original optimism. Women faced a particularly deadly gauntlet, childbirth. It was one alt of alt the leading causes of death for medieval women. No pain relief alt no alt medical intervention, just prayer, hot water alt and alt someone holding your hand while you bled out on a straw-stuffed cot alt for men alt the dangers were alt different, but equally relentless. Farming alt accidents, infections from minor wounds, a neighbor's drunken rage, a crusade gone alt sideways. Even walking to the market could be risky if you crossed paths with a bored bandit or an angry tax alt collector. Death could also alt come alt quietly from the plague, which turned cities into alt cemeteries overnight. Or from famine, which could last entire seasons, thinning out entire villages. Or from bad luck, like alt eating alt spoiled grain and spending your final hours alt hallucinating and screaming alt at the walls. And funerals, you were alt lucky if you got alt one. Bodies were often alt buried quickly to avoid disease alt no embalming, no polished coffins alt just a hole, a few murmured alt prayers, and a shallow mound of earth. If there was enough space left in the churchyard. So yes, in medieval times, life was brutal, short, and constantly under siege by death in alt all its casual forms. You didn't retire. You just stopped showing up. And speaking of exits alt, let's move on to your final chapter. The medieval dream dies. So, how's your day been? You've woken alt up in filth, relieved yourself into a bucket, brushed your teeth with alt wishful thinking, nearly passed out from hunger, worked until your spine cried alt for mercy, scratched your way through itchy wool, prayed to not get plague, and barely dodged a public alt execution for owning a squirrel. Welcome to a single day in alt medieval Europe. Still alt dreaming alt of becoming a knight. Think again. That romanticized version of the Middle Ages. Gallant swordsmen, noble ladies in alt towers, heroic battles and feasts in candle-lit great halls. It's a myth polished by fairy tales and fantasy books. In truth, the medieval alt world was gritty, cruel, and deeply unfair. Hierarchy was alt everything. If you were born alt poor, you stayed alt poor. If you were born alt rich, congratulations. You had a better alt chance of surviving. But you were still one bad soup away from dysentery and a hasty burial. Even the nobles weren't immune to misery. Castles were drafty stone refrigerators filled with fleas, smoke, N underscore alt politically underscore alt motivated marriages underscore alt sure, you had underscore alt a fur underscore alt cloak and a goblet of wine, but also a 50% chance of dying in a skirmish or from an infected splinter. Not underscore alt exactly underscore alt luxury, the underscore alt simpler times weren't simple. They were relentless. Everything took underscore alt longer underscore alt everything hurt more. Everything from childbirth to chewing came with consequences. Life was survival, not leisure. And if you did find underscore alt a quiet moment underscore alt to think, to dream, to imagine something better, there wasn't underscore alt much you could do with it. No underscore alt upward mobility, no underscore alt modern medicine, no internet underscore alt to Google. What's underscore alt this weird rash underscore alt you lived underscore alt suffered, worked, and died underscore alt within a underscore alt 10 miles radius of underscore alt where underscore alt you were born. But here's underscore alt the wildest underscore alt part. Through all of this, people still laughed underscore alt sang songs, told stories, fell in love, and found meaning. Not because life was underscore alt easy, but because humans are underscore alt stubborn like that. Even in the underscore alt darkest chapters, they made underscore alt space for light. So tonight underscore alt when you slip into your clean underscore alt bed with indoor plumbing, antibiotics, and central heating, maybe say a quiet thank you to the modern world and to your ancestors who underscore alt fought rats, famine, and feudalism, so you wouldn't have to. Long underscore alt before she was Catherine the Great underscore alt Empress of all Russia, mistress of reform, an icon of ambition, she was simply Sophie. Born Sophie Federica Augusta underscore alt von Anhallhurst in 1729. She was the daughter underscore alt of a underscore alt relatively obscure German princely underscore alt family. Her tiny underscore alt Dush in Pomerania offered little underscore alt in terms of underscore alt power. But Sophie herself. She had underscore alt something no title could provide. Razor sharp intelligence underscore alt relentless charm, and a quiet underscore alt burning hunger for greatness. Her underscore alt upbringing was strict. Her mother, Johanna, was cold and calculating, not a warm underscore alt nurturing figure, but a social climber obsessed with status. Sophie's father underscore alt a underscore alt Prussian officer underscore alt was more underscore alt distant than disciplinary. From a young age, Sophie learned to walk the fine line between obedience and cunning. She read voraciously, spoke multiple underscore alt languages, and learned how to underscore alt observe a room before speaking in it. Skills that would soon become survival tools in one of Europe's most underscore alt brutal courts. When underscore alt the Russian Empress Elizabeth Petrovna began searching for a underscore alt wife for her heir, Grand Duke Peter, she looked beyond Russia's borders. Peter himself was of German descent, and Empress Elizabeth believed a foreign bride underscore alt pliable and grateful, would be easier to control. Sophie fit the bill underscore alt perfectly. Noble blood underscore alt Lutheran faith, which she'd be forced to abandon. N underscore alt a reputation for both grace and humility. At just 14 underscore alt years underscore alt old, Sophie was summoned to Russia underscore alt. She arrived in underscore alt the underscore alt freezing underscore alt capital of St. Petersburg in 1744 underscore alt wearing thin German fabrics and a diplomatic smile underscore alt. Her mother underscore alt pushed her forward like a chess piece underscore alt. Sophie, however, had underscore alt her own underscore alt game underscore alt in mind underscore alt to become acceptable in Russian society. She converted to underscore alt orthodoxy, taking underscore alt the name Ekaterina Alexa, Catherine. The ceremony was public, symbolic, and life-altering underscore alt. She wasn't just changing religions. She was burning the bridge behind her, stepping into a foreign empire with no way back. No one watching that underscore alt quiet teenage girl in a fur-trimmed underscore alt coat underscore alt could have predicted underscore alt what underscore alt would come next. Betrayal, revolution, enlightenment, and empire. But from the moment Sophie stepped foot in the Russian court, she stopped being a pawn and began planning how to become a queen. Catherine's marriage to underscore alt Grand Duke Peter was meant to secure her place in Russian royalty. But from the very underscore alt beginning, it felt more like underscore alt a cage than a crown. Peter, heir to the Russian underscore alt throne, was not the dashing prince of fairy tales. Awkward, immature, and obsessed with toy soldiers, he was far more interested in playing war games in his chambers than governing an empire or showing affection to his new wife. Some accounts even suggest he refused to consummate the marriage for years. He idolized Frederick the Great of Prussia and resented the Russian court that had adopted him. In contrast, Catherine embraced Russia with a fierce determination. She learned the language, studied its history, and memorized orthodox rituals. She wanted to belong. Peter wanted to escape. This mismatch wasn't just emotional it was political. The Russian court was a viper's nest of gossip, paranoia, and brutal power games. Empress Elizabeth still ruled with absolute authority, but her health was in decline. Everyone knew a transition was coming and everyone had an agenda. Catherine was watched constantly. Her letters were read, her friendships monitored, and her every move scrutinized. She couldn't trust her husband, her mother, who was still whispering in her ear on behalf of foreign interests or even her servants. In this world, alliances could turn into accusations overnight. But Catherine was no fool. She learned to play the court's games quietly, cultivating allies in the shadows. She charmed military officers, made friends with scholars, and developed a reputation for dignity and restraint, a stark contrast to her husband's childish tantrums and open contempt for Russian traditions. Behind closed doors, Catherine began reading Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire and Montesquieu. While others saw her as a young consort, she was building a vision not just for herself, but for Russia a nation of strength, education, and reason. But there was one problem. The longer Peter lived, the longer Catherine remained in limbo, a powerless wife to a man unfit to rule. So she waited, observed, and planned she knew the Russian throne wouldn't be inherited. It would have to be taken. In 1762 after nearly 2 decades of waiting, watching, and quietly maneuvering, Catherine saw her moment, and seized it with breathtaking precision. Empress Elizabeth had died, and Peter, now Peter III was finally Tsar. But his reign began unraveling almost immediately. In just a few short months, Peter alienated the church, offended the nobility, insulted the army, and lavished praise on Prussia, Russia's longtime enemy. He reversed key policies, humiliated the clergy and talked openly about divorcing Catherine to marry his mistress. The court, already wary of his erratic behavior turned cold. The army, filled with generals loyal to Catherine, grumbled in corridors. Even ordinary Russians, devout and patriotic saw Peter as a foreign puppet who mocked their traditions. Catherine, watching all of this unfold, made her move. In July of that same year, while Peter was away at his summer palace Catherine launched a bloodless coup supported by key military officers, including her lover, Gregory Olaf, and his influential brothers. She rode through St. Petersburg in full regalia, was proclaimed Empress Catherine II and won the allegiance of the powerful Imperial Guard. Peter caught off guard and without allies surrendered within days. He was taken into custody and shortly after found dead under mysterious circumstances. Officially, it was reported as a hemorrhoidal colic. Unofficially, it was murder. Catherine was now empress. Not by birth not by marriage, but by will, wit, and audacity. It was unprecedented. A foreign-born woman with no legitimate claim had taken the Russian throne without a single battle. But her real challenge was just beginning. She had to transform that bold grab for power into a lasting legacy. Would Russia accept her? Would the nobility respect her? Could she hold the empire together without falling victim to the same fate as her husband? Catherine understood that power gained through intrigue alt could be lost alt just as easily. She needed to rule not as a schemer but alt as a alt visionary. And so began alt her transformation from a careful conspirator to a reforming empress. One alt who would redraw borders, embrace the Enlightenment, and redefine what it meant to be a woman in power. Once Catherine alt had the crown, she could have rested on her power. But she didn't. She had something bigger in mind alt than alt simply sitting on alt a throne. She wanted to transform Russia. And not just militarily or politically alt but intellectually. While alt Peter had alt worshipped Frederick the Great and toy alt soldiers, Catherine idolized Voltaire Diderot and the bold thinkers of the Enlightenment. She believed in reason, progress, education, and the role alt of a monarch as a servant of the people, even if she alt herself ruled with absolute authority. Catherine didn't just alt read Enlightenment philosophy. She lived alt it. She corresponded directly with Voltaire for over 15 years, flattering him while defending her autocracy. She invited Diderot to her alt court and even purchased his entire library to support alt him financially. Behind closed doors, she pored over legal texts, debated reforms, and crafted alt policies to modernize the empire. Her early alt reign was filled with efforts to alt codify Russian law. She formed the Legislative alt Commission alt in 1767, an ambitious alt project intended to rewrite the entire legal alt code of Russia. Catherine's own alt Nikassa's alt or instruction was a political manifesto in alt disguise, one that alt spoke of equality before alt the law the alt dangers of torture, and the responsibility of rulers alt to serve alt the common good. For an empress in alt 18th century Russia, it was radical. But Enlightenment ideals alt had to survive alt the realities of Russia alt vast, feudal, deeply conservative land ruled alt by nobles who liked their serfs exactly where they were, beneath alt them alt Catherine knew this. While alt she advocated alt reform, she alt moved carefully. She abolished some forms of torture, expanded access to alt secular education, and alt built schools and alt libraries. But she alt also reaffirmed the nobility's alt control over their serfs to keep them loyal. This was Catherine's alt balancing act. A philosopher alt queen in public, a practical empress in private. She walked a alt tightrope alt between alt ideology and alt survival, between alt the shining salons alt of Paris and the alt gritty politics of Moscow. Her vision for Russia was bold, but alt always calculated alt in many alt ways. Catherine wasn't alt trying to make Russia European. She was trying to make Russia modern on her terms. An alt that meant reform, yes, but with alt an iron hand in a velvet glove. Catherine wasn't content with reforming Russia from within. She wanted to expand alt it outward to make it an empire worthy alt of fear, admiration, and alt envy. Where Peter the Great had opened a window to the west, Catherine alt aimed to knock down the walls. Under alt her alt leadership, Russia's borders alt stretched wider than ever before. She waged alt wars not just to defend her crown alt but to alt reshape the map of Europe alt. One of her most alt significant campaigns was against the Ottoman Empire. These wars, fought in waves throughout the 1760s and 1770s, weren't just about territory alt, they were about influence. Catherine saw herself as the alt liberator of Orthodox Christians living under Muslim rule and alt as the rightful protector of alt Eastern Europe. Under generals alt like alt Alexander Suvorov and Gregory Pumpkin, Russia alt captured key regions including alt Crimea, the alt northern alt coast of alt the Black Sea alt and access alt to alt warm water alt ports, something Russian czars had coveted for alt generations. These victories weren't just military, they were symbolic alt. With each conquest alt Catherine sent a message. Russia alt was alt no longer the distant backward alt cousin of Europe. It was a alt continental force. She also turned her gaze westward. In alt a series of deals and diplomatic maneuvers, Catherine participated in the partitions of Poland, carving up the alt struggling Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth along with Austria and Prussia. By the end of alt the Third Partition in 1795, Poland was erased from the map and Russia claimed vast new lands and millions of new subjects. But Catherine didn't just conquer with armies. She also colonized with ideas. New alt cities alt were built. Trade routes were expanded. German settlers were invited to cultivate alt Russian farmland. The empire became a mosaic alt from the icy alt Baltic to the sun-drenched shores alt of the alt Black Sea. And alt through alt it all alt Catherine remained the central force, reading alt reports, issuing orders, and personally overseeing the alt shape of her expanding empire. Critics alt would accuse alt her of being power-hungry, even alt imperialistic. But to Catherine, expansion wasn't ambition. It was destiny. A great ruler, she alt believed, was measured not just by ideas, but by alt borders. She didn't just want to rule Russia. She wanted to remake it as a civilized empire, feared by its enemies, respected by its peers, and alt loyal to her alone. For alt her brilliance and power, Catherine the Great alt was just as famous for what alt went on behind palace doors. And no, not all of it alt was whispered in libraries. Catherine's private alt life alt became one alt of the most alt talked about aspects of her reign. She had alt lovers, not just one or two alt but a carefully curated parade of them, many decades alt younger, often handsome and sometimes politically influential. She didn't alt hide them. In fact, she often rewarded alt them with titles, estates, and pensions alt if alt they behaved well. If not alt they were alt quietly dismissed, sometimes with a polite thank you and a promotion alt among alt the most important of these lovers was Gregory Pumpkin, a man as brilliant as he alt was bold. Their relationship blurred the lines alt between romance, politics, and partnership. Some historians believe they may have even married in alt secret alt together. They shaped military campaigns, colonization projects, and the transformation of southern Russia. Pumpkin alt wasn't just a lover. He was her co-ruler alt in many ways. Still, Europe alt couldn't alt look past alt the scandal. Gossip swirled. Satirical pamphlets painted her alt as lustful alt insatiable, even unhinged. And after alt her death alt the rumors only got worse alt the most infamous being alt the completely false and grotesque tale involving a horse spread by alt her enemies to smear her legacy. But why the obsession? Simple. Catherine was a woman who wielded power unapologetically alt and in a world alt where female rulers were expected to be either saintly virgins or tragic figures, she refused to alt play the alt role. She lived, loved alt and alt ruled on her alt own terms, and that made her dangerous. Ironically, while her critics alt painted her as immoral, Catherine alt herself was deeply philosophical about love and sexuality. She believed pleasure was a alt natural part of life and that personal relationships alt didn't have to threaten alt public responsibility. She alt separated emotion from governance alt a feat few male rulers alt managed. In reality, her liaison were often strategic. She surrounded herself alt with men who were loyal, capable, and politically useful alt and when they alt ceased to be, she let them go, usually with a smile and a alt generous retirement. Catherine's love life didn't weaken her rule. It was part of her strategy. A blend of passion and power alt that made her unforgettable, envied, and feared. For all her charisma and control, Catherine's reign was alt not without peril. And in 1773, that alt peril alt came in the form of a alt bearded Cossack named Ilan alt Pugachev alt. He was no alt ordinary rebel alt. Pugachev claimed to be none alt other than Peter III, Catherine's alt dead husband. According to him, he alt had survived the alt coup and now returned to reclaim the alt throne from the German usurper. It was absurd. Peter was alt long gone. But alt to alt Russia's alt oppressed alt and exhausted lower classes, the claim didn't alt need to be true. It just needed to alt offer alt hope. Pugachev alt promised liberation, an alt end to serfdom, lower taxes alt and land for the common people. His words lit a fire across the vulgar alt river region, especially among Saxe peasants and old believers. In a time when alt the gap between nobles and serfs had widened brutally, his promises sounded like salvation. The Pugachev rebellion became the largest peasant uprising in Russian history. Towns were taken, fortresses fell, nobles were slaughtered. For a terrifying alt moment, it seemed as if the empire itself might fracture. Catherine was alt shaken. This alt wasn't a alt foreign war alt she could alt win with cavalry and treaties. This alt was a alt revolt from alt within her own people, rising against the system alt she ruled. But alt Catherine didn't panic. She acted. She dispatched alt professional military forces to alt crush the rebellion ruthlessly. Pugachev's forces were defeated in 1774 alt he was captured, displayed in an iron cage, and alt eventually alt beheaded in alt Moscow, a public warning alt to all who dared follow. Afterward, Catherine doubled down on order and control alt her dreams of alt liberating the alt serfs quietly faded into silence. The rebellion had shown her the limits of enlightenment in a country still shackled alt by feudalism alt she now alt leaned harder on the nobility, who offered loyalty in exchange for absolute control alt over their alt serfs. This was a turning point. The empress who once quoted Voltaire alt now prioritized stability over alt philosophy. Reform alt became cautious. Surveillance increased. Rebellion even alt whispered was to be alt stomped out before it had breath. Pugachev may have lost his alt head, but he left behind a alt warning that haunted Catherine. That power built alt on inequality could only hold so long before the storm came crashing alt through. By the time Catherine the Great approached the final years of her life, she had ruled Russia for over 3 decades, longer than any female ruler in Russian history. From the moment she seized power, she had defied alt expectations, reshaped her empire, and redefined what a woman and a monarch could alt be alt under Catherine's reign. Russia became a true European powerhouse. Its territory expanded alt by over 200,000 square alt miles, swallowing Crimea, parts of Poland, and stretches of alt the Black Sea coast alt. These alt weren't just military wins. They were strategic pivots, securing warm water ports, and reshaping trade. But her legacy wasn't only alt drawn on maps. Catherine left a cultural mark as well. Alt she helped found the Hermitage Museum, amassed one of the greatest art collections in Europe, and corresponded with the greatest minds of the Enlightenment. Her court became a center alt of sophistication alt art alt and intellectual alt ambition. In a country often viewed as backward by Western Europeans, Catherine put Russia alt firmly on the alt cultural alt map. She modernized education alt founding schools for alt girls, and promoted the alt printing of alt books. She introduced smallpox inoculation to Russia, even publicly receiving the alt vaccine herself, an act of scientific alt bravery in her time. Yet alt her reign was alt also one of contradictions. While she admired Enlightenment ideals, she never freed the serfs. In fact, she extended serfdom deeper into Russia's territories. Alt her reforms alt while impressive, remained mostly top-down, designed to polish the empire without truly transforming its foundations. Still, Catherine's rule brought stability and ambition. She understood that power was not inherited. It was crafted, managed, and constantly defended. She ruled not by divine right but by force of will, political brilliance, and relentless calculation. She was called many things: user, a tyrant, reformer, a seductress. But above all, she was effective. When she died in 1796, Russia was wealthier, larger and more formidable than it had been in centuries. She left behind a throne secure, an empire expanded, and a legend that would endure for centuries. Catherine didn't just reign. She ruled with intellect, strategy, and an unapologetic grip on history. And in doing so she became more than an empress. She became a myth. For all her power, expansion, and enduring legacy, Catherine the Great was still at her core a woman navigating a man's world and reshaping it in her image. Behind the imperial portraits and state decrees was someone deeply aware of how precarious her position was. She was not born Russian. She came to the throne through a coup. She ruled an empire that didn't want a woman in charge. And yet she not only endured, she thrived. Catherine was never content to be ornamental. She read constantly, wrote endlessly, and never stopped learning. Her daily schedule was intense. Hours of reading reports, corresponding with foreign powers, editing state papers, and managing a court filled with rival factions. She wasn't content to simply sit on the throne. She worked the throne like a stateswoman born to it. She was also, in many ways lonely she surrounded herself with courtiers, lovers, and artists, yet wrote in her memoirs of how few people she could truly trust. Her son Paul, whom she distrusted and kept away from state matters grew into a man she feared would undo all her progress. Her greatest emotional partnership with Gregory Pumpkin faded into deep friendship, but his death in 1791 left a wound that never truly healed. Catherine crafted her image carefully. She understood the power of narrative and wielded it better than most monarchs of her age. She posed as Mother of Russia, enlightened monarch, warrior, empress and lover of the arts. But beneath those roles was a woman who had endured rejection, betrayal, scandal, and rebellion, and kept going. When she died in 1796, she left behind an empire transformed, but also questions. Could she have done more to end serfdom were her Enlightenment ideals compromised by politics? Was she more reformer or ruler? History remembers her by the title she never gave herself, the Great. It wasn't because she was flawless or kind or just it was because she took power and wielded it on her own terms in a time and place where women weren't supposed to have any. She didn't just wear the crown. She rewrote what it meant to deserve one. In the humid depths of the Chiapas jungle in southern Mexico, the ruins of Palenque whisper stories from the ancient Maya world. Towering temples rise above the canopy, their limestone faces eroded by time but still brimming with secrets and in 1994, one of those secrets revealed itself. A team of Mexican archaeologists led by Fanny Lopez Jimenez was surveying Temple 3, a relatively modest pyramid next to the more famous temple of the inscriptions, the burial site of the mighty King PL the Great. Temple the throne wasn't expected to hold much until they noticed something odd. A sealed hidden chamber beneath the structure no looters had touched it it was pristine. When the archaeologists broke through alt and lowered alt themselves inside, they found alt a stone sarcophagus resting alt in silence. The air was alt heavy with alt the weight of centuries. As they opened the lid, red dust alt rose like smoke, brilliant, shocking red. The alt interior was covered in powdered cinnabar alt, a toxic mercury sulfide alt used ceremonially by the Mir. And lying within that crimson alt cloud, was the skeleton alt of a alt woman alt. She had been buried alt with care alt and reverence. Her bones were fragile but intact, her skull alt still wearing a alt jade mask alt, and her body surrounded alt by horary offerings, necklaces alt diadems, ear spools, all crafted from jade and shell. Everything about the burial screamed royalty. Yet no name was inscribed alt, no glyphs identified her. It alt was one of the richest female alt burials ever found in alt Mesoamerica. And yet it was a total enigma. Why alt was she buried in red alt powder? Who was alt she? Was she a queen, a priestess, or alt perhaps even Pal's wife? The researchers called her the red alt queen, and the alt name stuck. But even with modern forensics, they alt couldn't say for sure who she was, only alt that alt she had alt lived around the 7th century during the alt golden age of Palenque. Unlike most Mayer tombs alt hers had been alt hidden, untouched, and alt purposefully isolated. Her burial wasn't just ceremonial alt, it alt was spiritual. This woman wasn't meant alt to be remembered with words. She was alt meant to be remembered through ritual, through color, and through alt the mystery she left behind. The most haunting feature of alt the alt Red Queen's tomb wasn't her jade alt jewelry or the alt silence of the sealed chamber. It was the red dust. A thick layer of powdered cinnabar covered everything. The sarcophagus, the alt walls, her bones, even the offerings around alt her. It clung like blood to stone. To the Mayer, this was no accident. Cinnabar, made from crushed mercury sulfide, was one of the alt most sacred and dangerous substances in the ancient world alt. Its vibrant red color wasn't alt just visually striking. It symbolized blood alt rebirth alt and the life force alt that alt connected the human and divine alt realms. Red was sacred. It was the color of sunrise, of sacrifice, of life emerging alt from alt death. And it wasn't just symbolic. It was spiritual. Covering the dead in cinnabar was a ritual alt meant to transform the body, preserving it not for eternity, but for transition alt. In Maya belief, death wasn't the end alt, it was a alt passage, a crossing into another alt cosmic layer. And so the Red Queen, whoever she was alt being prepared not just for burial alt but alt for alt deification. But there's another layer to this. Cinnabar is toxic. Repeated exposure can lead alt to mercury alt poisoning, tremors, hallucinations alt even death. The Mayer likely didn't understand the chemistry, but they felt alt its potency. It was volatile alt powerful, dangerous alt. To bathe the corpse in it alt was to alt declare this person was no ordinary mortal. In alt Palenque alt very alt few were alt buried with cinnabar. Pal the alt great the mighty king whose pyramid alt dominates alt the site was alt one. His body like hers was also saturated in the red powder. That alt detail alone alt drew speculation alt was the Red Queen his wife, his mother, or someone of equal divine status. Her skull had alt been placed on a alt layer of jaguar skin, another alt sacred symbol. Around her, bone needles alt obsidian blades alt and alt miniature alt jade alt figurines alt hinted at rituals performed alt either alt during alt her life or in her honor at death. Every alt part alt of her burial told a alt story without words. A_alt story of power cloaked in secrecy_alt a woman_alt prepared to cross into the underworld_alt not in_alt silence, but in ceremony, drenched in the color_alt of sacrifice. Surrounding_alt the Red Queen's_alt crimson-drenched remains, was_alt a world of silence, broken only_alt by the gleam of jade, shell, and obsidian. These were_alt not mere ornaments. They were offerings, each one carefully_alt chosen to accompany her on the journey_alt to the my_alt afterlife, the Sibalba. At her sides were_alt jade necklaces, heavy and cold, their polished surfaces_alt still radiant after 300 years underground. Jade was not just beautiful. It was sacred_alt the my_alt considered it a symbol of eternal life. It represented the green of_alt maize_alt the vitality of the jungle, and the breath of_alt the gods. Only the elite_alt were buried with jade. For the _alt Red Queen_alt it covered her_alt chest_alt wrists, and_alt ears. A_alt clear sign that in life she wielded influence_alt perhaps_alt even divine favor. One of_alt the most haunting objects was the Jadurari mask_alt placed delicately_alt over her face. Unlike_alt the golden death masks of Egypt, this_alt one was subtle, constructed_alt from dozens of tiny mosaic tiles arranged to mimic the contours of her_alt skull. The mask served a ritual_alt function to protect the soul, to preserve identity, and to present her as divine in the_alt eyes of the gods. Scattered near_alt her bones were bone needles, obsidian blades, and shell artifacts. These could have been tools of ritual or symbols of her status as priestess_alt healer, or_alt royal matriarch. One bone pin_alt was_alt engraved, faint_alt but purposeful. A_alt small echo of her_alt voice lost_alt to time_alt at her feet and along the edges of the tomb were ceramic vessels, still sealed, likely once_alt filled with offerings. Food, drink, or incense to sustain her spirit beyond death. The_alt mayor believed the afterlife_alt was_alt a journey, dangerous, layered, filled with challenges. These items weren't_alt luxuries. They were necessities. To modernize, the tomb feels intimate, not overloaded_alt but intentional. There was no gold_alt no_alt chariots, no pomp, just items chosen with spiritual weight. It_alt was a map for the soul. Through these treasures, we glimpse_alt how the mayor understood death, not as finality_alt but as a transition of power. The_alt Red Queen wasn't buried to be forgotten. She was_alt being prepared to ascend_alt for_alt all the grandeur of her tomb, the Red Queen left behind one haunting void. No_alt name_alt no inscriptions adorned_alt her_alt sarcophagus. No glyphs on the_alt walls identified her. She was clearly someone powerful_alt but_alt who. From the moment her tomb was opened, scholars began trying to connect the dots. The most compelling theory that the Red Queen was Zakbu_alt Ar, the wife of Kinich Janab Pal, known today as Pal the Great, the most famous ruler of _alt Palank_alt Zakbu Aha_alt was_alt more than just_alt Pal's consort. She was born into nobility and married into Palank's royal dynasty_alt at a young age. She bore at least 3_alt sons, all of whom_alt held high status, and_alt she played a_alt key ceremonial role during her husband's reign. If_alt anyone_alt could be buried with such honor, it was her_alt supporting this theory was the tomb's location_alt just a few feet away_alt from Pal's own grand burial in temple_alt of the inscriptions. The_alt proximity suggests a_alt deliberate_alt pairing, husband and wife, rulers even in_alt death. And then_alt there's the cinnabar. Only 2 burials in Palank_alt were found with such intense cinnabar coverage. Pal and the Red Queen. It's unlikely this was coincidence. But here's where the mystery deepens_alt DNA tests were conducted_alt on both sets of remains in hopes of confirming the connection. But the results inconclusive. The woman's bones showed no direct maternal link to pal_alt, but that didn't rule out a spousal_alt relationship. After all, marriage does not require_alt shared blood. Some have argued she could have been Sekuk, Pal's powerful mother who ruled Palank before he came of_alt age. Others suggest she may have been a high priestess or_alt, a sister or a royal ancestor whose name has _alt simply been lost to history's erosion. Still, the _alt evidence points most strongly to Taku Ao, a queen by title, a mother_alt of_alt kings, and a spiritual counterpart to Pal_alt. The lack of _alt a name may not be an oversight. It may _alt have been intentional. In Maya cosmology, the soul lived on _alt not through monuments, but through ritual _alt symbol _alt and the whispers of the _alt earth. And so, the Red Queen _alt remains _alt suspended _alt between legend and truth. A woman who ruled, remembered not in stone, but in scarlet and silence. To understand the Red _alt Queen, we must understand the world she came from _alt a world where Maya women, especially royal ones, held more influence than many realize _alt in Maya civilization. Politics was often a_alt family affair. Royal women weren't merely passive consorts. They were diplomats, priestesses _alt and power brokers. They conducted _alt rituals, sponsored temples _alt and played crucial roles in maintaining _alt dynastic legitimacy. Their _alt bloodlines were political capital used _alt to forge alliances and secure claims to the throne. Take Sekuk _alt for example _alt the mother of Pal the Great. When the throne _alt of Palank was left vacant _alt she took power herself and ruled as queen _alt regent until her son _alt came of age. She _alt wasn't a placeholder. She was a ruler in her own right, issuing decrees and overseeing construction projects. Without her, Pal _alt may never have risen at _alt all _alt and _alt she wasn't an anomaly. Across the Maya world, in places like _alt Yakilan, Nanjo, and Calakmul, inscriptions show women performing major ceremonies, engaging _alt in _alt warfare _alt diplomacy, and _alt sometimes ruling outright _alt. They were often portrayed in steel and murals, dressed in elaborate headdresses and regalia, standing beside _alt kings as _alt equals, or sometimes above them. Their words were carved in glyphs. Their names _alt were remembered until they weren't. By the time Spanish conquistadors arrived _alt centuries later, much of that memory had eroded. The _alt colonial lens saw _alt native women as silent figures in _alt a male-dominated world. But the archaeology tells a different _alt story, one of complex gender roles where power was negotiated _alt not simply inherited. This context _alt casts the _alt Red _alt Queen in a _alt new light. She may _alt not have ruled in name _alt but _alt her burial, rich, sacred, and positioned beside Pal suggests she was a _alt central pillar in _alt the royal _alt order. Her jade mask wasn't just decoration. It was a symbol of _alt identity _alt of power held _alt in life and protected in death. Her bloodline may have been the very _alt glue that held Palanka's dynasty _alt together. In Maya civilization, a queen wasn't just a queen _alt she was a keeper of sacred lineage, a voice in _alt ceremony, and often _alt the _alt bridge between gods _alt and men. The Red Queen may be nameless, but in _alt her world, she was _alt never voiceless. The Red Queen wasn't just buried _alt with _alt treasures. She was buried in _alt architecture rich with _alt purpose, layered _alt with Maya _alt cosmology, ritual symbolism, and intentional design. Her tomb wasn't _alt merely a grave. It was _alt a gateway to eternity. Her body _alt was _alt discovered inside Temple 3rd, one of the _alt smaller pyramids within the heart of Palank _alt yet its proximity to Temple of the Inscriptions, the resting place of _alt Pal _alt the Great, is telling _alt these temples weren't built randomly _alt their positioning was _alt sacred _alt guided by astrology, myth, and dynastic legacy. Temple the Thea rises modestly compared to its grand neighbor. But it hides something even more intimate. A sealed crypt untouched by lutters, perfectly preserved. It was constructed deep within the temple's core, accessible only by a steep, narrow staircase. The descent into her tomb feels almost symbolic, a ritual journey downward into the underworld. The chamber itself is stark, made of cut stone, sealed tightly for over 130 years. No glyphs or murals cover the walls. No ornate carvings tell her story. But perhaps that silence is intentional. This was a space not for the living to interpret, but for the dead to transform. At the center, her sarcophagus sits like an altar crafted from limestone. It echoes the grand stone coffin of Pal next door. While Pal's lid is famously engraved with scenes of cosmic rebirth, the Red Queen's tomb is more subdued. The focus is inward on the body, on the cinnabar on the ritual of death itself. And yet, there are subtle architectural cues that hint at meaning. The tomb is aligned east to west, a symbolic path mirroring the sun's journey from life to death. The chamber is small but powerful. It feels deliberate personal, a sacred enclosure for someone revered. Maya temples were cosmological tools, bridges between the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. To be buried in one was to be elevated beyond the human realm. The Red Queen's eternal home wasn't an afterthought. It was a carefully constructed shrine, a place where death became transformation. Her bones rest in stone, her essence in cinnabar, and her legacy in the architecture itself. A temple that speaks without words, telling us she mattered. To the ancient Maya death wasn't the end. It was a threshold, sacred passage into the underworld known as Sibalb and for someone like the Red Queen, this crossing was not only spiritual. It was political, cosmological, and deeply ritualized. Burial rituals were carefully choreographed events rooted in myth and meant to guide the soul through the treacherous layers of the underworld. Maya texts and iconography tell us that Cibola was no peaceful afterlife. It was a maze of darkness, rivers of blood, trials and gods of death. Only those properly buried, ritually prepared, and spiritually equipped could make the journey successfully. The Red Queen was buried wrapped in cinnabar, encased in stone and surrounded by offerings all signs of an elite burial. But there's more. The presence of bone needles and obsidian blades in her tomb hint at auto-sacrifice rituals. Possibly symbolic tools representing rites she had performed in life or that were reenacted at her burial to empower her spirit. Hirari mask carefully assembled from jade tiles was not simply decorative. It may have served as a spiritual vessel preserving her face and identity as she journeyed into the afterlife. In Maya belief, the face was a mirror of the soul and the soul needed to be recognized by the gods. The ceramic vessels surrounding her may have once held chocolate, maize, water, or even pulque to nourish her in the next world. Other items like stingray spines or shell trumpets could have represented spiritual tools, calls to the gods, or tokens of ritual communication. Burial wasn't just a goodbye. It was a transformation. The Maya believed in cycles. Death as seed, burial as planting, and the afterlife as rebirth. Kings and queens were often seen as earthly incarnations of gods. And in death, they return to those divine origins. The Red Queen, covered in the color of blood, entombed in a pyramid, and honored with offerings, was being prepared for rebirth, not as a mortal, but as a being tied to the sacred order of the cosmos. Her burial wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning alt of her legend. Just alt a few steps away from the alt red alt queen's final resting place lies one of the most iconic tombs alt in Meso alt America. That of Kinich alt Jan of Pal, known alt simply as Pal the alt great alt his burial inside the grand temple of the alt inscriptions alt is celebrated alt for its artistry, scale, and deeply spiritual symbolism. But what makes the red alt queen's tomb so extraordinary alt is not only what was inside, it's where it alt was found. Her sarcophagus was alt hidden within Temple 3, directly adjacent to Pal's monument. In a alt city like Palenque, where every temple was carefully positioned to reflect cosmic principles, this closeness was alt no coincidence. It was intentional, a statement etched in stone. Many scholars believe the alt Red Queen was Zakbu Ao, Pal's queen and trusted consort. While her alt tomb lacks inscriptions, the similarities between their alt burials are striking alt both wrapped in cinnabar, both entombed in pyramids, both buried with alt jade, and both treated with extreme reverence. These rituals mirror each other as if two halves of a sacred narrative. Pal's lid alt famously depicts him falling into the underworld tree, a cosmic scene alt of death alt and alt rebirth. The alt Red Queen's alt simpler tomb contains no alt such iconography, but the symbolism lies in the pairing itself. If Pal alt represented the sun, journeying through the underworld at night to alt rise again, then the Red Queen may have represented the moon, the feminine force that follows its own mysterious path alt in the sky. Together they alt embodied a cosmic duality. Masculine and alt feminine, king and queen, sun and moon alt order alt and ritual. In Maya mythology, rulership was not singular. It alt was relational. Harmony in alt the cosmos required balance. And that balance extended into the dynastic court. By placing the Red Queen beside Pal, the Maya were preserving not alt just a marriage alt but a cosmic partnership alt their proximity in death may have mirrored their roles alt in life. A queen alt not behind, but beside her alt king, sharing not just a throne, but a legacy. In their alt tombs, they speak without words alt two souls alt wrapped in cinnabar and stone joined across alt eternity. One of history's most sacred alt silences alt though alt her name was lost alt to time alt the Red Queen of Palenque endures not as a alt forgotten alt relic, but as alt one of the most alt enigmatic alt and alt powerful women of the ancient world. Her tomb alt sealed for over alt 1,300 years, now whispers alt across centuries, inviting questions that echo louder alt with every discovery. She alt represents alt a mystery that alt still resists full understanding. We may never know exactly alt who she was alt no glyph carved her name. No stealer told her story alt and alt yet the care in her burial, the richness alt of her alt offerings, the symbolism of her crimson-drenched alt bones, all speak of a woman profoundly important, not merely alt as alt a wife or alt consort, but as someone who held real influence, spiritual weight alt and royal blood. Today, the Red Queen forces us to re-evaluate alt assumptions alt she's a reminder that in the ancient alt Maya world, women were not silent. They led rituals, governed cities, and shaped dynasties. While kings alt like Pal have alt long alt taken the spotlight, the Red alt Queen's re-emergence reminds alt us that power did not belong to men alone. It flowed through mothers, queens, priestesses, and visionaries. Her legacy is more alt than the treasures she left behind. It's the conversation she's alt started among archaeologists, historians alt artists, and storytellers. Every jade bead, every alt layer alt of cinnabar, every alt architectural choice in temple that tells us alt something deliberate. This woman mattered. And perhaps that's the most extraordinary part of her story. Not what we alt know, but what alt we still don't. The Red Queen underscore alt teaches us that history isn't underscore alt just a collection of facts. It's a living puzzle, a shared human longing to underscore alt connect with underscore alt the past. In underscore alt that sense, her legacy is underscore alt still unfolding. She underscore alt lies wrapped in red underscore alt the color of life and sacrifice, of blood and rebirth underscore alt her face, once underscore alt hidden behind a underscore alt jade mask, now stares back at underscore alt us through science, art underscore alt and wonder. She remains nameless, but not voiceless. Mysterious but not forgotten. The underscore alt red underscore alt queen may have underscore alt ruled a kingdom underscore alt in life, but in death she rules something underscore alt greater underscore alt our underscore alt imagination underscore alt her tomb underscore alt was sealed in stone. Her story was written underscore alt in silence. And still somehow underscore alt she speaks. Frida Kahlo was born on July 6 th underscore alt 1907 underscore alt in the vibrant district of underscore alt Coyoacán. Then a village on the outskirts of Mexico City underscore alt her childhood home underscore alt the Casa Azul, the blue house, was filled underscore alt with color, contradiction, and quiet strength. It underscore alt would later underscore alt become a sanctuary, a underscore alt battleground, and a underscore alt museum to one of the most iconic artists underscore alt of the 20th century. Frida was the third underscore alt of 4 daughters born to Guillermo Carlo, a German-Hungarian photographer, and Matilda Calderon, a devout underscore alt Catholic of underscore alt indigenous and Spanish descent. Her parents were opposites. Guillermo, reserved and intellectual. Matilda, religious and emotionally distant underscore alt Frida would inherit her father's introspection and artistic eye, but underscore alt also underscore alt her mother's underscore alt fierce resilience underscore alt as a child. Frida was imaginative, outspoken, and bold. She read voraciously, and asked underscore alt questions underscore alt most adults didn't want to answer. But at the age of 6, she contracted underscore alt polio, which left her right leg thinner underscore alt and weaker than the other. A physical difference she tried underscore alt to mask with long underscore alt skirts, but never allowed to underscore alt limit her spirit. The underscore alt illness left her bedridden for months and underscore alt isolated from other children. During this time, she grew close to underscore alt her father, who encouraged her underscore alt to exercise, ride bicycles, and stay mentally sharp. Unlike most girls of her time, Frida didn't aspire to become a wife or underscore alt a homemaker underscore alt her goal underscore alt to underscore alt become a doctor. She enrolled underscore alt in the prestigious National underscore alt Preparatory School underscore alt in Mexico City at age 15 underscore alt one of only a handful of girls accepted. There underscore alt she stood out not just for her underscore alt intelligence but for her rebellious wit, radical thinking and underscore alt unique sense of style. She joined underscore alt a group underscore alt of underscore alt young intellectuals known as the Cachuchas who debated philosophy, literature, and politics. Frida was drawn to revolution, to ideas that underscore alt challenged tradition. But even in those early years underscore alt before the bus crash that would define her body and before the fame underscore alt that would define her legacy underscore alt Frida Kahlo was already painting herself into the world with sharp edges, unapologetic ideas, and an identity too big underscore alt to underscore alt fit inside anyone else's expectations. She wasn't just underscore alt growing up in Coyoacán. She was preparing to remake herself entirely. On September 17, 1925, Frida Kahlo's life was split in two. The girl underscore alt she had been and the woman she was forced to become. That afternoon underscore alt she boarded a wooden bus with her boyfriend, Alejandro Gomez Ares, after school. They were laughing, teasing each other, and underscore alt probably arguing. Frida never underscore alt did anything halfway. But underscore alt moments later underscore alt the bus collided underscore alt with a street car, and in an instant, her future unraveled into pain underscore alt metal, and underscore alt silence. The crash was horrific. The street car crushed the bus against underscore alt a wall, splintering wood, and flinging passengers. Frida was underscore alt impaled by an iron handrail. It entered underscore alt her left hip underscore alt and exited through her underscore alt pelvis. Her underscore alt spinal column fractured in 3 places. Her right leg shattered underscore alt her foot dislocated. Her collarbone and ribs broke alt her shoulder was dislocated. Her abdomen was alt pierced alt she was just 18 years old. A man covered her with a borrowed overcoat. Someone alt else noticed her alt body was sparkling, not from blood, but from the gold powder she had been carrying in alt a pouch. It had exploded alt on impact, dusting alt her broken form in what looked like glittering ash. Frida was taken to the Red Cross hospital and underwent numerous surgeries over the following months alt she spent weeks alt in a body cast, flat on her back alt immobile, writhing alt with infection and uncertainty alt the future she'd imagined of becoming a doctor alt slipped further away with every passing day. But in that stillness alt something began to stir. Her father gave alt her alt brushes. Her mother alt rigged a special easel to hang above her alt bed. A mirror was placed on the canopy so she alt could see herself. And there, lying in plaster alt in agony, Frida began to paint alt first out of boredom, then out of obsession. Her first subjects were alt her own reflection, because she was all alt she had. But what emerged alt wasn't alt vanity. It was survival alt the crash had broken her physically alt but it had also opened a alt door. A door into her own mind, her own body, and eventually into the surreal language alt of alt pain and identity alt that would define her alt art. The girl who wanted to heal others, now began alt healing herself, one brush stroke at a time. As Frida Kahlo lay encased in plaster and steel alt a body fighting itself with every breath, she began to paint. What started alt as a form of therapy soon alt became a language. And that language was deeply personal, brutally honest, and often hard to look at, which was precisely alt the point. Frida didn't paint pretty flowers or polite alt landscapes. She painted pain, her pain, physical, emotional, and alt existential. Her first subjects were self-portraits, not because she was vain, but because, as she famously said, I paint myself because alt I'm so often alone alt and because I am the subject I know best. Her early alt works were alt small in scale, painted on alt tin or wood panels alt inspired by Mexican retos alt devotional paintings meant to tell alt stories of suffering and miracles. Frida turned this tradition inward. Her body became the canvas alt her emotions became the altar. She painted herself as split, as pierced, as alt bleeding. In one painting, she is impaled alt by nails like a alt modern-day martyr. In alt another, she alt floats in a alt barren landscape, tethered alt to alt a alt broken column, a metaphor for her shattered spine. She painted herself alt weeping, fractured, decapitated, and bare, but alt never passive. Always watching. Her pain alt was not sanitized alt she painted the ugliness alt of trauma with alt beauty, defiance alt and even humor. Each alt piece was a reclamation of her body, her experience, and alt her identity as alt a woman in a alt world that often alt tried to define alt her. But Frida wasn't just telling alt her story. She alt was inventing a new kind alt of visual alt narrative. One that blended Mexican folk art alt surrealism, medical illustration, and symbolism. Her alt paintings became dreamlike autopsies of her alt soul, framed in alt color alt culture, and myth. By the time she recovered enough alt to walk again, albeit alt painfully, Frida was no longer the girl who had wanted to be a alt doctor. She was alt an artist, and her art was unlike anything anyone had alt seen. She had taken the worst thing that had alt ever happened to alt her and alt turned it into a source of alt creation. Frida Kahlo didn't just alt paint her pain. She made the world look at it, and in doing so she turned suffering into alt a sacred act of alt self-expression. In 1928, still alt recovering, still painting and just 21 years old, Frida Kahlo met the man who would become the most profound and turbulent relationship of her life Diego Rivera. He was 20 years her senior, already Mexico's most famous painter. Massive in both stature and presence, Rivera was a giant of Mexican muralism known for his sweeping, politically charged frescoes that told the story of the Mexican people Frida had seen his work before. She admired it. But now she wanted his opinion of her work. She brought her paintings to him at the Ministry of Education interrupting his scaffold work to ask bluntly, "Do I have talent?" Diego took one look and said, "Yes, and not just out of kindness." He recognized in her something rare, an unfiltered voice, raw and unpretentious, full of rage irony, pain, and beauty. They began a relationship that was as consuming as it was creative. Frida once said, "I suffered 2 accidents in my life. One in which a streetcar knocked me down. The other was Diego. They married in 1929. An odd pairing to outsiders. Diego, massive, unfaithful, politically famous Frida, sharp tanged, fiercely independent already walking with a cane her parents called it a marriage between an elephant and a dove their bond was passionate but chaotic. Diego supported her art and encouraged her growth as a painter. But he was also endlessly unfaithful, even with Frida's own sister, Cristina. Frida was devastated, and in return she took lovers of her own, both men and women, including rumored affairs with Leon Trotsky and painter Georgia O'Keeffe they divorced in 1939 then remarried a year later with different terms this time. Frida would keep her autonomy, her home, her money, her name. Their second marriage was less about traditional love and more about creative partnership and mutual understanding. Despite the betrayals and the heartbreak, Diego remained a constant force in Frida's life. He challenged her. He wounded her but he also believed in her as an artist, as a revolutionary, and as a woman who could redefine what painting could be. Together, they were not peaceful, but they were legendary. In the 1930s, Frida Kahlo followed Diego Rivera on a journey north to San Francisco, Detroit, and New York as he completed high-profile mural commissions. These years abroad brought her face to face with American industrialism, wealth, and the contradictions of capitalism, and they left her with deep political discomfort. Frida was a proud Mexican nationalist, a committed communist, an admirer of indigenous traditions the opulence she witnessed in the United States, especially while the Great Depression ravaged much of the country, only deepened her sense of disillusionment in letters home she mocked the culture's materialism and obsession with appearances. She missed the grit, color, and contradiction of Mexico. While Diego painted enormous murals on factory walls Frida began to paint smaller, quieter revolutions, deeply personal works on tin and canvas. Her style solidified, sharp, surreal emotional, and intimate. It was during this time that she produced some of her most iconic self-portraits. Frida didn't just paint herself for vanity. She painted herself to survive. Her identity became her landscape. With her body constantly in pain from her accident, multiple surgeries, and a failed pregnancy in Detroit, she turned inward. Her portraits showed her bleeding, fragmented, exposed. Yet her face was always calm, always direct, unapologetic. One of her most powerful works, Henry Ford Hospital, shows her alt lying on a hospital bed, crying, surrounded by floating symbols alt of loss. A fetus, a snail, medical equipment, a cracked pelvis. It was raw, graphic, and deeply alt emotional. A canvas that bled with truth. Back in alt Mexico, Frida immersed herself in leftist politics. She and alt Diego welcomed Leon Trotsky into their home alt while alt he lived in exile. Frida wore Tijuana dresses, traditional indigenous garments, not just as fashion, but as a political and cultural statement. Her art was never disconnected from alt her alt beliefs. Her identity, her body, and her ideology all intertwined in her work. While Rivera was painting alt murals of revolution, Frida painted its human cost. The body in pieces, the mind on fire, and the self alt always staring alt back. In exile alt and in illness, she became alt not alt just alt a painter of pain, but a painter of resistance. When Frida Kahlo returned to Mexico in the late 1930s alt she was no longer alt just Diego Rivera's wife. She had become alt something alt else entirely alt a force, an artist whose work radiated alt with raw honesty, surreal symbolism, and cultural identity. Back in her homeland alt she stepped fully into alt herself. Her alt Casa alt Azul in Coyoacán became a sanctuary alt of alt color and contradiction. Bright cobalt walls alt yellow trim, Aztec statues in the garden, monkeys alt and parrots wandering freely. The house was alt a living extension alt of Frida's imagination. It was a blend of tradition and rebellion, elegance and alt earth. Here she surrounded alt herself with pre-Columbian artifacts, exodos, folk alt art, and revolutionary books. She wore alt bold Tijuana alt dresses, wore alt flowers alt into her alt hair, and painted alt amid the scent of copal alt incense and alt the sounds of mariachi on the street outside. This period marked an explosion of creativity. Her paintings became more alt intricate, more symbolic, and more political. Works like the alt 2 Frida's alt revealed a divided self. One in European dress alt with a bleeding heart alt the other in alt indigenous clothing, strong and composed. It was Frida's visual autobiography, a portrait of alt love, loss alt and heritage. In 1939, she exhibited her work in Paris, where artists like Picasso, Breton, and alt Kandinsky praised her fiercely original alt style. But even among alt the surrealists, Frida stood apart. When André Breton tried to label her as one alt of their own, she pushed alt back. They thought I was a surrealist, she said alt, but I alt wasn't. I never painted dreams. I painted alt my own reality. She painted Mexico, not the romantic alt postcard version, but the alt living, breathing country she adored alt her work pulsed with symbolism. Skeletons, hummingbirds, hearts alt thorns, corn alt and blood. She honored the indigenous roots of her homeland while unmasking the violence of its past and present alt, but even as her artistic voice grew stronger, her health continued to decline. Multiple surgeries, infections, and chronic pain became daily realities. Still, she painted through it, propped up in bed, torso bound alt in corsets alt fingers clenched around the alt brush. Frida alt had returned to Mexico alt not to rest, but to reclaim her power through alt paint, through politics, and through her fearless embrace of the self. As the 1940s wore alt on, Frida Kahlo's body continued to betray her. Her spine was deteriorating. Her right leg was constantly infected. She underwent more than 30 surgeries in her lifetime, often in grueling succession. At times, she was bedridden for months, encased in body casts or immobilized by alt traction devices that stretched her bones apart. But still she painted. Each canvas during these years became both a alt release and an act of alt resistance. Her works grew darker, more defiant. She painted with a clarity sharpened by pain, refusing to hide behind metaphor. In the broken column she presents herself split down the middle, her body pierced with nails a cracked ionic column replacing her spine. Yet her face is stoic. Her gaze unflinching. Pain for Frida was no longer just a subject. It was her companion her antagonist, her muse. Her political voice also grew louder. She joined the Mexican Communist Party marched in demonstrations, wrote fiery letters, and called out imperialism and injustice. When her health no longer allowed her to walk, she appeared at protests in a wheelchair, defiantly holding signs and shouting slogans. In 1953, Frida was given her first solo exhibition in Mexico, a long overdue celebration of her art. But her health was so fragile, doctors told her she couldn't attend so she did what only Frida would do. She arrived by ambulance, carried in on a stretcher, and placed in the center of the gallery on her hospital bed. Dressed in traditional finery, surrounded by her own work, she greeted guests with tequila, laughter, and that fire still burning in her eyes. Her final paintings were both childlike and harrowing. In Marxism will give health to the sick, she painted herself wearing a steel corset cradled by the hands of Marx, casting away symbols of oppression. Her last known work was a still life of sliced watermelons. One piece bearing the words, Viva la vida, long live life. Even in the face of death, she remained defiant, joyful, and political. Frida Kahlo's last portraits weren't just self-portraits. They were acts of revolution painted in pain, but always signed with life. On July 13 1954 at the age of 47, Frida Kahlo died in the same place she had been born La Casa Azul in Coyoacán The official cause was listed as a pulmonary embolism, but those closest to her whispered of something deeper she had been ill, yes, but also exhausted by pain, by surgeries, by the long war with her own body. Just days before, she had attended a political protest against the CIA coup in Guatemala weak and wheelchair-bound, she insisted on going, her clenched fist raised in the air. Revolution remained her final heartbeat. Her last diary entry was brief but piercing. I hope the exit is joyful and I hope never to return. Frida's funeral was held at the Palacio de Bellas Artes, Mexico's most prestigious cultural institution. Her body, draped in the red flag of the Mexican Communist Party was watched over by friends family, artists, and revolutionaries. Diego Rivera was inconsolable. He called her the greatest love of his life. Even as his betrayals had nearly broken her. But in the years that followed her death, something extraordinary happened. Frida Kahlo refused to disappear. At first, her name was whispered only in art circles. Her works weren't easy to categorize, too political for surrealists, too surreal for traditionalists but slowly her image, her story, and her defiance began to resonate. Through the 1970s and 1980s as feminist scholars and activists reclaimed forgotten voices, Frida's became louder. She wasn't just a painter anymore. She was a symbol of pain turned into beauty, of feminism born through resistance, of Mexican identity celebrated without apology, of queerness, disability revolution, and authenticity. Her face unibrow gaze, flowers in her hair became iconic her home became a museum her diary became a sacred text. And her paintings now hang in the world's greatest museums. Frida Kahlo underscore alt had lived much of her life in Diego's shadow. But in underscore alt death underscore alt she stepped forward. She didn't just leave behind paintings. She left underscore alt behind a mirror and dared us all to look. Not with underscore alt pity underscore alt, not with fear underscore alt, but with fire. Today, Frida underscore alt Kahlo's face is everywhere. Printed on t-shirts, painted on murals underscore alt, turned into dolls, memes, posters, and icons. Her signature unibrow, her flower-crowned hair, her direct gaze, all instantly recognizable. But what makes her legacy powerful isn't just that people know her underscore alt face, is underscore alt that they recognize the truth behind it underscore alt. Frida didn't try to be flawless. She didn't fit into boxes. She wasn't conventional, and underscore alt she underscore alt didn't underscore alt care to underscore alt be. In a world that demands perfection, she gave underscore alt us realness. Raw underscore alt messy, vibrant, angry, joyful, contradictory realness. She underscore alt celebrated what underscore alt made her different underscore alt, her disability underscore alt, her queerness, her politics, her culture, and underscore alt turned it into art that transcended borders and decades. She's become underscore alt more than an artist. She's a underscore alt global underscore alt symbol of defiance underscore alt feminism, cultural pride, and creative resistance. For queer communities, she's a fearless bisexual underscore alt icon who lived openly underscore alt and unapologetically in a underscore alt time underscore alt that underscore alt demanded silence. For women, she's a reminder that power doesn't require permission underscore alt. For disabled artists, she's underscore alt proof that pain can fuel the underscore alt brush, not underscore alt stop it. And for Mexico, she's a daughter reclaimed, fierce underscore alt folkloric, and forever part of the national underscore alt soul. Her paintings, once dismissed underscore alt as underscore alt too strange underscore alt or too personal, are now among underscore alt the most revered in the world. Works like the two Frida's self-portrait with thorn necklace underscore alt and hummingbird and the broken underscore alt column underscore alt aren't just seen. They're felt deeply by anyone who has ever suffered and needed to turn that suffering into something sacred underscore alt. She lived in the margins and turned underscore alt them into underscore alt center stage. She embraced underscore alt contradiction. A communist who wore underscore alt gold. A woman underscore alt betrayed underscore alt who loved again. A body in underscore alt pieces with a soul unbreakable. And through it all, she painted underscore alt not just with color, but underscore alt with conviction. Frida underscore alt Kahlo never underscore alt asked to be a symbol. She simply told the truth about herself. And in doing so, told the truth for underscore alt millions underscore alt of others who had never seen themselves reflected in art before. Now when underscore alt we see her face, we see courage. We see color. We see resistance. We see Frida not gone but immortal underscore alt.